I've got some things here. You want to know? Now, I brought up my suspicions, which I think that were really are shared by many, as we were able to listen to that Facebook whistleblower. I only listened to about 15 minutes. I said I don't need any more. I don't need any more. And then we saw this. Facebook whistleblower is a leftist activist rep by lawyer for whistleblower behind Trump impeachment. Oh, that's the anonymous whistleblower, by the way, that nobody knew still to this day who it was. But they tried to remove an American president through an anonymous third-hand source that was of course pushed through by the intelligence community, and they made new policy just to make it all legal. Just like they're trying to think of ways to make a ounce of platinum worth $1 trillion. Boy, oh boy. The Facebook whistleblower Frances Hagen has a record of donations to far-left Democrats and history of raising issues about purported bias while at previous employers. This is why it's becoming harder and harder to even consider hiring women. Unless the company culture is attracting conservative people who just want to get to work and don't want to be. But if you're out there in the world and you're just taking, especially if you're opening up like a franchise of some kind of a food place and you're just taking people from all over and not expressly looking for a certain, it's harder and harder, man. I'll tell you, I would be scared as hell to hire women. If I opened up a business somewhere, I would find a way to staff it with just family if I could, because you got this Frances Hogan woman that's out there. A record of donations to far left, a history of raising issues about purported bias while at previous employers. Yeah, wants to sue everybody and all that stuff. And of course, she has the face of one of the, I mean, damn, she looks like Ivan Drogo from Rocky IV. A mix between that and the vampires from the original Buffy series. With David Boreanaz, all their brows become a little bit furrowed and weird shit. Okay, so yeah, that's all right. Let's just move on. Let's move on there. It's let's see. Daily Wire review found she's working with Democrat operatives to roll out her complaint and has same lawyers as the anonymous Ukraine whistleblower whose allegations led to Donald Trump's impeachment, but who reportedly turned out to be then Vice President Joe Biden's top advisory on the country. In the previous role at Pinterest, Frances Hagen was behind a recent change to give users the option to filter searches to specific skin tones. This is what kind of a crazy fuck we're dealing with. At Gigster, she gave a talk on how, quote, if we don't build with an eye toward inclusion, we can end up enshrining bias. She's a nut job. In 2015, she complained that Google was not inclusive enough toward women. The entire damn thing is ugh. I didn't realize the way I'd been worn down by being a woman in tech. The last team I was on at Google had a transsexual engineering director, and as a result, we had more transsexual women than cis women on our team, which always says something sad about the number of women in tech. I know, it's a very male-dominated field, as you can tell by all the transsexuals around you who are actually just men. Just deal with it. It's a male-dominated field. If you're good at it and you're a woman, get on into it and just know what you're dealing with and go for it. And you know what? And just what the fuck do we... No. The solution is turning boys into girls. That'll soften them up. Now look at us. We don't see them in major tech companies, and when you do see them in major tech companies, you see them in places that are in support roles like marketing or perhaps sales. I think that's a problem. No, I think that actually that's where they do best, with people. Customer service, people, helping people, whereas men are psychologically a lot more fixated on things, a lot more fixated on technicality and the mechanics of things. That's just the way it is. Now, of course, there's going to be crossover between both sexes, and but the exceptions are not the rules. And why can't? But they're all about. This is not just about equality. It's about trying to remake nature. because they have been raised to feel just, I don't know, upset about nature. It's really sad. Really sad. Listen to her. This is when I knew that this is really off the boards. I said something else is going on about this Facebook down, this outage yesterday. Something else. Listen to this.
Yesterday we saw Facebook get taken off the internet. I don't know why it went down, but I know that for more than 5 hours, Facebook wasn't used to deepen divides, destabilize democracies, and make young girls and women feel bad about their bodies.
So that's really what it's all about. That's what it was all about. It's weakening democracies, and it's attacking young girls. It's making young girls anorexic. And it's all about saving young girls, young girls, young girls. Not that young girls should not be protected. Of course, I have a daughter. I am one of my chief priorities in life is protecting and doing everything I can to help make a young girl's life the best that it can be and empower them to do whatever the hell she wants to do with her life. Okay? It's about the political reprioritization of things. Men, boys are getting pushed off to the side. Of course, boys to women like this are really just girls in waiting. That's just really what is. Everything just had a weirdness to it all. Everything had a weirdness to it all. And, and she goes on to talk about how Facebook and Mark Zuckerberg, she has been in meetings where he has prioritized some kind of algorithmic decision-making based on money, and they're thinking about profits over people. And like, it's a fucking business. It's a business. Of course he does. So, and I was like, so this is not a bomb revelation as well. Facebook, which is a publicly traded company, is making decisions every day to increase the value of the stock for the stockholders? And what? So, I mean, she's going to be a bipartisan catalyst for even more censorship on the internet, nothing more. That's what this was all about. They are talking about how Facebook allows certain type of speech to be out there, that if it exists in certain parts of the world, it is definitely going to result in physical violence or inflaming old tribal wars in certain countries like in Africa and stuff like that. So it's, I don't know. And listen, obviously that has everything to do with independent media. It has everything to do with just free speech altogether. We know that Facebook is not a free and open place. We know that the internet as it is right now is a very slanted place. For them to think that it is just outrageously and uncomfortably uncensored is ridiculous. This is not the real whistleblower you all should be thinking about and listening to.